Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Sports Channel, Starr 103.5 FM. Thank you so much for choosing Starr. And thank you, of course, for joining us on Facebook. Yes, our show is live on Facebook right about now. Get to Facebook, Starr 103.5 FM, and you can get to watch the sports show. Of course, all our shows, most of them, always live on Facebook. All right, this morning we do have a lot for you in the world of sports, but then let's start off with this quote from Lewis Hamilton, and he says, success is about dedication. You may not be where you want to be or do what you want to do when you're on a journey, but you've got to be willing to sacrifice and persevere. So be ready to sacrifice and persevere, and that's how we choose to start the show today. We have news from the Gusa Games, interesting results, and how is your school, how is your university faring? Well, I'll bring you all the results from yesterday's events in the Gusa Games, and then the fixtures for today. Who meets who? How is the University of Ghana? How is the University of Winneba, University of Cape Coast? They are the host. How are they faring? KUST, all the universities, Unimark, GIG. We'll get to bring you all of that. And then, of course, we'll move to the foreign scene yesterday. The semi-finals of the EFL Cup. The first semi-final game. The first leg happened yesterday. Interesting game that was. Arsenal were at home. And interestingly, they lost to Newcastle United. And Arteta has been saying some things. We'll get to listen to him. And then, of course, there's some action tonight as well. Tottenham Hotspurs, they need silverware badly, and Liverpool are in their way. Well, let's see if they can beat Liverpool tonight. We'll get to listen to both coaches, Arne Slot and then Ange Postecoglou. Then, of course, we'll end it with some news from Everton. Don't forget that there's news from tennis as well. Andy Murray and Novak Djokovic, well, guess what? They have become a pair. Yes. And Murray is training Djokovic. We'll get to listen to Djokovic on how he feels with Andy Murray being his coach. All right, so let's start off from the Gusa Games, where in the hockey women's event, KNUST lost to UCC by 5-6, and in the volleyball's men event, UBIDS, they beat the University of Energy by 79-52 points. UMAT lost to KUST. Well, they actually beat KUST 107-106 points in the volleyball men category yesterday. Interesting one. UMAT showing a lot of greats in the volleyball events yesterday. And in basketball, we saw UPSA also beat UHAS by 76-27 points, and GCTU beat University of Energy by 91-16 points, and KUST beat the University of Winneba 79-44 points. So there you have results from the basketball event for the men. And for handball, for the men, UDS, they lost to the University of Ghana by 27-29 points in the handball men's event, and the University of Education Winneba they lost to Amstead by 27-29 points. In the beach volleyball, University of Ghana beats UDS by 2-0. In the goalball men, so if you get to know what goalball means, well, you can join us on Facebook right about now. We have some images from the Gusa Games. Yes, interesting images from the opening ceremony to yesterday's event. It's been interesting so far. So for goalball is a sporting event where face of athletes are covered. It's actually a sport for the blind folks, and trust me, it has been interesting so far. And yesterday, UCC, they lost to University of Ghana 24-25 points, and then KNUST beat GCTU by 17-7 points. Basketball women, KNUST, they lost to University of Education Winneba 38-54 baskets. And for goalball women, UCC 8, University of Education Winneba 18, and GCTU 1, University of Ghana 11. And beach volleyball for the women's category, UDS 0, University of Ghana 2, and UBIDS 2, KNUST 0, and UCC 1, University of Education Winneba 2. Netball women, University of Education Winneba 49, UCC 50, a close one there. And last one from the Gusa Games, volleyball women, University of Ghana 49, UMAT 50. Interesting one there. Big shout out to all my UMAT friends, Sly and then Emanuela Kumsen. Yes, your school making you proud. So they beat University of Ghana, UMAT, yeah, in Takwa. They beat the University of Ghana 50 to 49 points in the women's volleyball event, and KNUST 75, Amstead 34 in the right. So there you have results from the Gusa Games. Of course, you can trust us here at Star 103.5 FM to bring you all the updates from the Gusa Games. For football event today, we are going to see the University of Education Winneba take on Gimpa, and then we'll see Unimac, that's GIJ, and take on GCTU, UPSA take on UMAT, the University of Energy take on UHAS, and then KNUSC play UBIDS. We'll see the University of Energy take on UDS, and then UTAS take on Amstad, and UCC come up against UG. So that big game today at exactly 3 p.m. at the Cape Coast Stadium. We'll see the University of Cape Coast come up against the University of Ghana in the football event there. So let's see how it goes. Of course, you can join us on the game at 1 p.m. For how things have panned out at the Gusa Games. All right, now let's move on straight to the European scene. But then before we go, don't forget that there's a back and forth in the Ghana Premier League, and we're just waiting for the FA, what the FA has to say. We've seen a lengthy release from Accra Lions after they lost at Dreams FC, and then Dreams FC have also come to reply, and Accra Lions are talking about officiating. Accra Lions are talking about how the standard of the Ghana football has dropped, and Dreams FC have also replied, and well, back and forth. We are waiting for the FA on its response. With regards to Accra Lions and then Dreams FC. Okay, Alexander Isak's rich goal scoring form continued as Newcastle United took control of the Carabao Cup semi-final with a superb first leg win against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Isak scored his 14th goal in 15 games to set Newcastle on their way to their 7th successive win. Anthony Gordon doubled the visitors' lead in the 51st minute, converting the rebound after Raya could only parry Isak's shots. Newcastle have never won the competition, but will make their second final in 3 seasons if they avoid defeat or lose by a goal in their second leg at St. James's Park on February 5th. So speaking after the game, Newcastle head coach Eddie Howe says beating Arsenal 2-0 in the League Cup semi-final first leg is a big step forward for his side, but insists the tie is still alive.
Win for us, we're really pleased, but we're also very aware that the second leg's, of course, a big break between them, but it's still very much game on, and we've done half the work. Yeah, I think our record is, well known to us. It's similar to Manchester United, really, in the fact that we have to start to try and win at any ground that we go to, and go into any game really confident that we're capable of doing that. And I think sometimes it's easier to do it once you've done it. If that makes sense. So I think these are big wins for us. Hopefully that can help us in future games and future moments, but it's been a brilliant response from the players to a difficult run. I still go back to the Brentford game and how we felt after that match, and a brilliant response from the whole group really to that disappointing result.
All right, so they have coach Eddie Howe of Newcastle United as they beat Arsenal 2-0. Well, for Mikel Arteta, coach of Arsenal, of course, he blamed the ball. He says the ball used in the Carabao Cup is completely different to the Premier League ball, and you have to adapt to that because it moves differently. So we don't know if maybe Newcastle actually played a different ball and Arsenal played a different ball. But then let's get to listen to Coach Arteta, who believes his team can fight back to reach the Carabao Cup final in the second leg.
It's the results. Well, if you look at what the both teams produce and the domination of the game, obviously it's not the result that reflects the story of the game, but the reality is that they were super efficient with the chance that they had, and we weren't. And at this level, in these kind of scenarios, you need that to impose yourself and win the game.
Right now, Tottenham Hotspurs have triggered an option to extend forward Son Heung-min's contract by a year until the summer of 2026. The 32-year-old joined Spurs from Bayern Leverkusen in 2015 and has scored 169 goals in 431 appearances for the club. Now, the South Korean international has 125 goals and 68 assists in 2020 Premier League outings. Tottenham Hotspur's manager Ange Postecoglou says the club's ambition is to make sure Son Heung-min ends his career with a trophy. Now, let's get to listen to Coach Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah, brilliant. He's already had an outstanding career at this football club. He's been he's played a big role in sort of the last 10 years of made an impact at the club, made an impact in the Premier League. Great to extend his stay, and the kind of aim and the ambition is to make sure he finishes his Tottenham career with some silverware.
Talking about trophies, Tottenham Hotspurs, they're going to be in action tonight taking on Liverpool. And Liverpool boss Ancelotti has claimed that the statue of Mohamed Salah, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk's performances are not getting affected by their contract talks. The three players, of course, are in their final few months of their current contracts, which will end in the summer of 2025. While Salah and Van Dijk have been vocal about their situation, Alexander-Arnold has been a subject of interest from Real Madrid, who had inquired about buying him during the current window. Speaking ahead of the first leg, the semi-final of the EFL Cup against Tottenham Hotspur, Slot dismissed suggestions that the trio have been distracted by the talk, and the recent draw against Manchester United was down to the way the opponents played.
I'm not leveling that debate with my players. I talk to my players, so if there's anything that worries them, then they share this with me, but and that has not happened till now. So what I do with the players is showing them what we could have done better against United, what we've done well against United, because I think especially in the first half we created some very good chances out of a very good style of play. And the mentality we showed after being 1-0 down was also something every fan likes to see, and me as a manager likes to see as well. So that is where we are focusing on, and I'm not focused on social media posts or what has been said about us, because if you do that as a Liverpool manager, you have no life, because this is one of the biggest clubs in the world, and every second of the day people talk about us. So it already takes a lot of my time to prepare the next game and to look back at the game we just played. If I have to do this as well, then I need, just as him, a few days off once in a while as well.
Right now, let's move to still at Messi's side, of course. Let's move to the other side of Messi's side and talk Everton, because Everton boss Sean Dyche is adamant that the new Toffees owners have given him backing, but admits that potential talks with other managers are part of any club's succession plan. Several groups suggest that the Fred King Group, who recently completed a takeover of Everton, were seriously considering Graham Potter to replace Dyche, while former conversations with the former Chelsea boss continues. However, speaking ahead of Everton's FA Cup third round tie against Peterborough, Dyche says he is not surprised by potential talks with other managers.
You know, at the end of the day, if you're a business of this size and this club, succession planning surely should be part of their diligence, and I've got no problem with that at all, and I think that should be ongoing at every football club. That's part of the business, surely. I'm sure it is in what we'd call normal business life, that is outside of football. So I never really concern myself with that. Got to win games. We haven't won enough this season. Got to make sure the team's operating the right way. Got to try and please everyone all of the time, and that's the job. And we haven't done that often enough, and it comes down to me, without any shadow of a doubt. Yeah, just positive that, you know, they know some of the work that we've done. They want better outcomes from winning games, of course. I think there's a reality to the situation. That's all I know, and they've been very straight with me and very upfront about it.
so there you have Coach Sean Dyche. Let's see if he would continue as coach of Everton or the new owners would bring in probably Graham Potter, former Chelsea and then Brighton, and Hove Albion coach or another coach in there. But then, before we get to, tennis, let's do some football news from the African continent, because CAF has announced a 75% increase in the prize money of the winner of the Total Energies CAF African Nations Championship, or CHAN, the CHAN tournament that we call it, raising it to $3.5 million US. So the total prize pool has also been increased by 32%, reaching $10.4 million US. CAF President Dr. Patrice Motsepe highlighted CHAN's role in developing African-based players and enhancing African football's global competitiveness. So the tournament will be hosted by Kenya, Tanzania, and then Uganda, running from February 1st to February 28th, 2025. 17 teams have already qualified, with 2 more to join after the final qualifiers. Of course, Ghana will not be part of the CHAN tournament, and good one from CAF. Yes, the money has been increased, so this time we're going to see the winners take home $3.5 million US. And the Nigerian Football Federation, they've appointed Eric Sekou Shelley as the new head coach of the Super Eagles. The decision, recommended by the NFF Technical and Development Subcommittee, was endorsed yesterday, January 7, 2025. Shelley, a former coach of Mali's national team, brings experience, of course, from clubs like GS Consult and then Bologna, and then MC Oran. Under his leadership, Mali nearly reached the semi-finals of the 2023 African Cup of Nations. The 47-year-old former player, who had a career in France, is tasked with securing Nigeria's qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, with the next qualifier set for March. Okay. Before I take leave of you, Novak Djokovic and then Andy Murray, former rivals and close friends, have teamed up ahead of the 2025 Australian Open. Djokovic aiming for his 11th Australian Open title and the record 25th Grand Slam, surprised many by appointing Murray as his coach in November after parting ways with Goran Ivanisevic. Now, Murray, a 3-time Grand Slam champion who retired after the Paris 2024 Olympics, has taken on his first coaching role. The 37-year-old born just 7 days apart, we're seen training together at Melbourne Park yesterday. So we wish them all the best, and that's all for sports. Don't forget that tonight the Tottenham Hotspur will take on Liverpool at 8 p.m. and in the La Liga, Atletico Club take on Barcelona at 7 p.m. as well. My name is Jones, ADZI. This is Starr 103.5 FM.